Welcome to Pirkei Avos with Rabeinu Yonah. We are in chapter 4, Mishnah number 1. So far in this Mishnah we said, who is a wise person? We said someone who learns from everybody. And we said, who is a strong person? Someone who is kovish his yetzer, someone who overcomes his inclinations. Now the next part of the Mishnah says, Ezehu Ashir, who's rich, who's wealthy, Hasamech Bechalko, somebody who's happy with what he has. Shenemar, as it says, Yagia Kapecha Kisaychel, by the work of your brow you shall eat, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat. Ashrecha v'tovlach, Ashrecha b'olam haza, good for you in this world, v'tovlach l'olam haba, and good for you in the next world. Says Rabeinu Yonah, Haomer daili bechalki achar shani yachol lefarnis as atmi v'lasuk b'torah umali u'lamaman acher. Who is a rich person? Somebody who says, you know what, I have enough money to support myself, for a place to live, for stuff to eat, and now I can sit and study Torah. What do I need more money for? The only reason I need to have money is so that I can fill the words of Hashem. Right? Why are we here in this world? We're in this world to serve Hashem, to do mitzvos, to study Torah. So if I have enough money for my basic needs, to have a comfortable place to live, and have enough food to eat, what else do I need more money for? It's a little bit of a different perspective than we're used to hearing. Somebody who's not happy with what he has, and he's not happy with what Hashem gave him, that's a poor person. Like it says in the verse, all the days of a poor person are bad. Someone who is happy with what he has, a good heart, he's always at a meal, he's always enjoying at a party. What does that mean? A poor person, meaning not someone who doesn't have a lot of money, but someone who always wants money. You could be a billionaire and be called a poor person by the pasuk, by the verse over here. A poor person means you're not happy with what you have, you always want more money. Such a person, his days are bad. He's not a happy person. It says in Ecclesiastes, somebody who loves money will never be satisfied by money. Someone who has a little bit of money, and that's what he loves money, he'll always want more. He'll never feel satisfied. Ach tov lev, but someone who's happy with what he has, v'samech b'chalko, kol yom of tovim, all of his days are good. Kamo ha'osa mishta tamid, like somebody who's always making a party. Okay, nihimid tova ad ma'od lios sameh b'chalko. Therefore, it's a very good thing to be happy with what you have. V'anikra asher, and that's called a wealthy person. Achashe Hashem yisbarach nasan lo b'meshi is parnis v'yasik b'torah mitzvos. Since Hashem gives him enough for what he needs, that he has time to study Torah and do mitzvos. Why is a person here? It's enough that he's able to study Torah and do mitzvahs. In our society, we're all raised that we're at least, unless you were maybe raised in certain parts of Lakewood or Bnei Brak and other places, but at least most secular places where we were raised, the idea is to get a good job so you can make a lot of money. And either explicitly or implicitly, we look up to people who are very wealthy and have material things and spend time doing material things. But if we look at it the other way, that, really, what's the whole purpose of being around, of being alive, is to study Torah, do mitzvahs, and serve Hashem. Now, I need money. I need money to be able to have a place to live and to have food to eat and provide for my basic needs. But that shouldn't be the goal in and of itself. The means, the money, and the material thing should only be a means to be able to study Torah and do mitzvahs. That's what Rabeinu Yonah is saying here. There's definitely a different perspective. If a person, I think it was a story with the Chavetz Chaim, I don't remember the story exactly, but it was something to the effect of, if a person spends all of his time going after money, then he could look at it that he lost. He could have had time, instead of using that time to study, to get money, he could have used that time to study another tractate of the Talmud, become more proficient in another area of Torah. So it's not zero sum. It's a zero sum game in a sense. Okay, Shinemar, as it says, "Egia kapechos kisachal ashrecha v'tovlach ashrecha b'olam hazeh v'tovlach olam haba." Ein zeh pasuk ra'ay l'davar samech mechalko. This verse is not necessarily a proof that someone who is happy with what he has is rich. El lahara she'adam me'usher b'midah zos kishe'eino chavetz la'asof mammon v'sayne matanos v'aychel yigia kapov mistapiklo. But rather to tell a person that when he doesn't want to just gather money and he hates gifts and he works from his own sweat, kimo samech b'chalko. She'ein chavtzo ritzono ela ad kedei chiyuso blavad. He's comparing this to a person who is happy with what he has, even though the verse itself is not exactly talking about someone who is happy with what he has. I'm not 100% sure what he means in this line. If anyone has any ideas, please let me know. B'shalosh midos elu, Sidron ben Zoma keseder Yirmiyahu Navi. Now, Ben Zoma, who's the author of our Mishnah, put these three ideas, these three characteristics together. What were they? Chachma v'hagvura v'osher. First, we talked in the Mishnah about who a wise person is, then who's a mighty person, and then who is a rich person. Kedichsiv, and this is all these three attributes are actually mentioned in a verse in Jeremiah. Ayis halu chacham b'chachmaso, hiktim chachma l'gvura. There it says you don't praise a person for his wisdom, or a wise person, you just shouldn't expect praise for his wisdom. Hiktim chachma l'gvura mipnei shehi ma'ala mitis. There the verse puts wisdom before strength. Why? Because wisdom is a true character trait. It has to do with the intellect. It has to do with it's more spiritual. But strength, strength is only something in the body. So wisdom is more of an intrinsic positive trait than strength, because wisdom is in the mind and strength is in the body. But strength is more is at a higher level. A higher level than wealth. Because strength is something that a person has his whole life as long as he has a body. Va'osher chutz laguf. Wealth is separate from him. Something could be lost. He could be a wealthy person and lose all of his money in the stock market. Even though the verse in Jeremiah is saying you shouldn't praise a person for these character traits, Ben Zoma comes and says that actually there is a aspect of these traits that should be praised. B'chachma, wisdom, lios lomid b'kol adam. We said a wise person. How should you be wise? By trying to learn from everybody, even someone who knows less than you or is not as important as you. Yavin v'yiras Hashem ve'ein b'zeh torech. This doesn't require a lot of effort. Ki chachma hi ve'eina malacha. It's wisdom. It's not work. B'gvura, we said might. Lichvoshes yitzro. What's the might that is praised here? Conquering one's Yetzirah, his evil inclination. And forgiving someone even though you're angry at them. This should be praised because it comes from fear of Hashem. This is what King Solomon says. Seichel adam herech apo. A person's intellect can cause him to not be angry so quickly. V'sefarto over al pesha, and his splendor is the fact that he overlooks misdeeds, transgressions towards him. But Osher, now what's the positive aspect of wealth? Shia samech b'chalko, is the positive aspect of wealth is to be happy with what you have. And after the person only wants to study Torah and do mitzvahs, and he has enough, like we mentioned, he has enough to sustain himself monetarily. He recognizes that once he has enough money to just make a living and support himself, the rest is nonsense. Such a wealthy person should be praised with his wealth. Alright, so who's the wealthy person you should praise? Not the bajillionaire, but rather the person who makes a living, and every available time besides that he's doing mitzvos and studying Torah. You have certain people, they, whatever it is, became professionals, but they only work half the day, so they can make enough what they need, and the other half of the day they study Torah. All of these things are ideas of Hashem. As it says, for only this one may glorify himself, contemplating and knowing me. Vod hosted. Okay, so that is what we'll stop here in the Mishnah. We still have a second part of the Mishnah, another character trait that we'll be discussing, and next time see what Rabeinu Yonah has to say on that. Wishing everyone a great day.